นิดเดียวครับอีกบล็อก
Inilah kopi, saldo GoPay Anda yang dijamin akan kembali. Jadi jikalau HP Anda hilang dan saldonya dicuri, ataupun jika akun Anda diambil alih secara paksa dan saldonya hilang, Anda tak perlu khawatir. Cukup laporkan saja lewat aplikasi dan saldo GoPay Anda akan dikembalikan. Jutaan pengguna GoPay sudah terlindungi dengan jaminan saldo kembali.
Highest scoring team in the tournament so far with 13 goals to their name. As for Singapore, they started well with a 3-0 win over Myanmar. I think some people might feel it's got progressively more difficult for them. 3 wins out of 3, an unconvincing victory over Timor-Leste, and then a loss against Thailand, which also culminated in some fans making their feelings known in the stadium. The reaction of the coach afterwards as well garnered some attention. And so they come into this as the underdogs, despite being the hosts, despite there being a sellout crowd here of 10,000 people. The last time these two sides played in the National Stadium in 2018, Singapore defeated Indonesia 1-0 in front of 30,000 plus fans. Of course, things have very much changed since then, as we see the two teams make their way out here onto the National Stadium pitch, a ground in which Indonesia thrilled us just 3 days ago against Malaysia in a 4-1 win, and that guaranteed them top spot and a place in the semi-finals against Singapore. There's Haris Harun, the skipper, who had plenty to say. We'll talk about that in a short while as the two teams line up for the national anthems. mix of fans here in the National Stadium. I'm here with Rish Roshan Rai as we look at the lineups today. And there are changes for Singapore. They make 4 of them from the side that lost to Thailand's second string in that final group match. We'll see Nazrul Mazari come back into the starting lineup. Song Woo-young returns after not coming off the bench in that last game. And Nur Adam Abdullah also goes into that left back position because of Shakir Hamza's injury. He is out for the tournament, and it is going to be a back 3 with those fullbacks or wingbacks pushing further up, you would think. And Song Woo-young is playing to the left of Shadan Sulaiman. Iksan and Faris Ramli up top. The players that drop out, Zulkarnain Suzliman is on the bench. As I mentioned earlier, no Shakir Hamza for the rest of this tournament, which of course is a big miss for this side. Amir Shahin is the other one that doesn't start today. They're the 2 skippers. Asnawi on your right from Indonesia, Haris Harun, the Singapore skipper. Officials all from Korea, Kim Hee-gon is the man in charge. We have a Korean coach as well, if you recall, for the Indonesians, Shin Tae-yong, and there is his starting lineup. They make 2 changes from the side that so thrillingly beat Malaysia here on Sunday, with Rizky Ridho Ramadhani coming into defence, and up the other end, Dedek Setiawan is the striker. And this is the interesting thing. They are looking to play a 5-4-1 today, something that they employed against the Vietnamese to great effect, but certainly not something we expected in this match here against Singapore. The ones to miss out, Ezra Walian is on the bench, and Ramai Ramakek is suspended. Moments of remembrance for family, friends, colleagues, and every person, of course, who was passed on due to COVID-19, hence the tagline, emerging stronger together. As I mentioned, Rish Roshan Rai, he's so excited next to me. I know he can hardly wait for this one, Roshan.
Really looking forward to this game of football. A young, vibrant, exciting Indonesian side with a wonderful attacking mentality and a spirit and a fight about them. And then this Singapore side into the first semi-final since 2012, looking to create even more history, playing at home after a bit of a blow against Thailand, suffering that defeat, looking to show everyone that it was just a one-off and that they are ready to make an impact and make their mark here on this semi-final.
What did you make of the formation that the Indonesians in particular are employing? They're both going with 3 central defenders.
Yeah, it's an interesting one, isn't it? With both these teams going with what looks like a system that plays 5 at the back. But for Singapore, with Zulfahmi in there, he can just step into midfield as well if they need him to. So he could even be a 4 at the back for Singapore. At times, Zulfahmi has got that ability. There he is on the ball, just plays a quick pass back to Safwan Barudin. He can drop in and become a part of that back 3. It gives them an option of being an extra body in the midfield as well, in possession. So keep an eye out on that little tactical tweak for Singapore. What's interesting for me here is Song and Faris on either side of Iksan Fandi. Good to see Song back in the lineup. I think, you know, they've been missing his qualities in certain matches. I feel like perhaps he may have just been struggling with a groin issue that he picked up in his first game. So trying to manage his fitness levels, perhaps.
Is that why you think he was saved against the Thailand in the Thailand match?
Yeah, and I think what he brings to this side is a lot of power, a lot of energy from those midfield positions, and he knows how to pick out a pass as well. We've seen a couple of lovely through passes from him.
Langit, bisakah kau singkirkan kemoceng ini? Aku rindu ke kantor lagi. meeting cantik, dengerin lo-fi music, bukan suara tetangga motong keramik.
Udah lama nggak ngantor, udah saatnya diantar gorai.
Close Up sekarang dengan Triple Fresh Formula mencegah gigi berlubang, melawan 99% bakteri agar nafas segar hingga 12 jam.
Foto yuk.
Memberimu kepercayaan diri untuk lebih dekat. Close Up Triple Fresh Formula.
Ready, stand by for these long throws from Pratama Arhan.
Well, what they've got is a man right there to try and make it harder, so he has to go high, and that's good hands from Hassan Sani. Flat kick out immediately. Asnawi puts it right back into the mix. Oh, and let's look at that space there for Singapore on the right-hand side. Young, burst of energy there. Motion mentioned. Talking of which, now here comes Irfan on the left for Indonesia. Ready, making that run. Wow, this is the kind of start everyone would have wanted.
Yeah, wonderful start to this game. End-to-end at the moment, very early on. It's a nice touch from Dedik Setiawan initially that just put it into the path of Irfan for him to run onto. Good covering from Zulfami. Again, benefits of having that extra body at the back there.
Well, there was a lot of thought about Elkan Baggett starting for the first time, but he's back on the bench. The big man, 1.94. They've brought in Rizky, who I thought was the best defender against Vietnam, as they have this corner here. Quite clear their lines, Singapore, but now they do with the skipper Harris. You could see the idea there, getting it up to his club teammate as well, Song Woo-young.
Well, that's where Singapore have excelled in these counter-attacking situations. In possession, they have struggled. I don't think they've been very good with the ball. But those transitions, those quick transitions from defense out to attack, especially with Song Woo-young in the side now, as I said, the ability to carry the ball forward and run at this Indonesian defense or run into spaces in behind. Also got obviously that power and the pace of Iksan alongside him as well.
There's Nur Adam Abdullah, his first start for Singapore in a competitive fixture, Roshan. I mean, this is nervy stuff, isn't it? For him to be brought in a crucial match like this.
Yeah, big test for the young man, but come back to him as Nazrul picks this one up.
Right from Najm Azari, another one who's come back in two new fullbacks today. Nazrul started the first match, but has lost his place to Zulkarnain in the subsequent ones. So that was an interesting change as well on the other side, on the right-hand side. Zulkarnain moving out for Najm Azari. He's gone for a bit of experience as well.
Yes, yeah, I think so. A bit of experience on that side of the pitch. Just to keep track of Irfan. And also, I think fresh legs there with Nazrul in the side now.
That's a good point you make, Roshan, because we know how good they are on that left-hand side, don't we? Indonesia. Pratama and Irfan. That has stayed in. It won't be a corner.
You know, I in the build-up to this, I was expecting these two sides to make it into the last four of the competition, but this wasn't the semi-final that I was expecting. You know, and it's a credit to Indonesia, the work that they've done in the group stages to make sure that they finish top of the group. And I spoke to Safwan Baharudin recently, and he mentioned that, you know, they're taking this challenge seriously. They know how good this Indonesian side are. At the same time, there was a little bit of relief. You know, I think they were expecting that, having finished runner-up in their group, they were going to be taking on Vietnam in the semi-final.
Yeah, I don't think many people would have figured Vietnam finishing second in their group. There's an important challenge there. Safwan. Of course, this is the first of two legs, so yes, you can afford to be a little bit conservative today. You don't have to go for it because you still have a second leg to come, and but maybe that's gone into the thinking of the coaches.
Yeah, that's exactly it, right? Nobody wants to leave themselves too exposed in the first leg and then have to chase the game in the second leg. So you want to be careful as well. Even if you do concede, you don't want to let the game sort of run away with you. Remember, you've got another 90 minutes to get that goal back if you need to. So don't take too many risks.
Enough noise in the crowd, mainly at the moment coming from the Indonesians, who were terrific, the fans, as well as the team. They kind of played off each other, didn't they?
Yeah.
On Sunday.
Yeah, wonderful atmosphere. And we touched on that in the last game. We've spoken about this. We've been fortunate enough to do a couple of matches at Bishan Stadium in Group B, and we had the Vietnamese fans as well who've been incredible. So it's a credit to all the fans. I mean, the Singapore fans as well who've come out in support of their side. You see Faris is taken out there. First opportunity from a set piece for Singapore.
This is their strength, isn't it, for Singapore? And Shin Tae-yong took great pains to point this out. 4 goals from set pieces for Singapore of their 7 in this tournament. Shadan Sulaiman, great ball in. Looked like Iksan got a touch on it. Asking for a corner, not going to get it.
The quality on the deliveries have been very good, and here Shadan again just comes off Indonesian defender there. I think it's Fakhruddin. Well defended. He made sure he tracked the run of Irfan all the way in. Really good ball from Shadan.
There's Alfredo Madevanga, who's been a versatile player for Indonesia.
Well, this is, we spoke about Zulfahmi for Singapore stepping forward into midfield. Alfiandra can do exactly that for Indonesia as well. So you've got these players, you see Nadeo putting it out play, but you've got these players who have got the capability to give you a bit of that tactical flexibility. They can step into that back line, play in that back 5 or that back 3, depending on the phases of possession, and then they can push into midfield as well when you do have control of the ball and you're looking to try and build out in that possession phase.
The Singapore fans now making their own noise. Got the roof covered as well, so it all stays in here. Really adds to the atmosphere. I think the scary thing, Roshan, is the bulk of that defence. Some of them are teenagers still. The rest are in their early 20s, more or less. It just stands them in great stead, doesn't it? This is outside of the 3 minnows in this competition, Cambodia, Laos and Timor-Leste. They are the youngest squad in this competition. Singapore, the oldest squad, at almost 28 years of age.
It's a wonderful contrast, and the 2 different styles, I would say, or perspectives from these 2 sides, and where they each are in their phases of development. With Shin Tae-yong, I think, very much looking at trying to bring through that next generation of talent and molding them into this aggressive, attacking, high-intensity team that he wants them to be. And I mentioned this, with younger players, it can sometimes be easier to get your ideas across to them, and they're more willing to take those on. And I think for Indonesian players as well, it's good to be exposed to that sort of coaching, that sort of level of coaching, and that sort of level of professionalism, and those sorts of qualities that he has, Shin Tae-yong. It just exposes you. It's a matter of education as well.
Yeah, he's proved he's very much his own man, and there was pressure on him to pick, for example, Ilya Spasejovic, who has got more international goals than all the other forwards that have been picked in this squad. It doesn't fit his system. That's a lovely ball over for Irfan from Alfredo Dewanga. Away by Irfan.
Yeah, it's not even just about fitting into the system. It's about how he gets along with the rest of the team, the rest of the squad, and you know, and that's so important, especially in a tournament like this where you're going to be stuck together for a while in that bubble. You know, and this is something that Tatsuma Yoshida spoke about. It's a great challenge.
Great mark there, isn't it, from Song Wei-young. He's rode out the challenge as well, up to Faris Rumley on the left-hand side for Singapore. Need to put a much better ball in for Iksan Fandi. Breaking news, of course, leading up into this match is that Iksan Fandi, who was poised to play in the top flight of Norwegian football with his club FK Jørv, has just made the move to his brother's club in Thailand, who's in this team as well. Irfan Fandi, he's going to BG Pattern, Russia. What did you make of that one?
We'll come back to that.
Asnawi. It's put out for a corner.
Well worked by Indonesia there, just to play through the middle initially. Just draw Singapore into these narrow positions and then release Asnawi in its space out wide on the right hand side. Isn't enough cross. Safwan heading it away. Yeah, interesting one, the timing of the announcement coming just before this match.
Langit, bisakah kau singkirkan kemoceng ini? Aku rindu ke kantor lagi. Meeting cantik, dengerin lo-fi music, bukan suara tetangga motong keramik.
Udah lama nggak ngantor. Udah saatnya diantar gorai.
What the thinking was behind that. There must have been some discussions with the player about it. It's an interesting move. We'll see how the set piece develops before we investigate that further.
Oh, a bit of a flap there from Hassan Sunny. Pretty good tournament so far, the veteran keeper.
Pratama Arhan, we know he's got wonderful technique and delivery on his left foot. Not just about his throw-ins, we saw him score a brilliant goal against Malaysia last time out. High energy, great work rate, gets up and down at left-hand side.
Successive corner here for Indonesia. Near post. This time pretty well dealt with from Zulfami. And a quick ball up. It's a good ball as well, but it just curves away from Faris. You see the idea from Haris Harun. It's a clear strategy, isn't it, Roshan?
Yeah, I mean, look, go for it. In those situations as well with Asnawi, credit to him on that occasion. He defended that really well. Read the pass, read the bounce of it, came across and cut out that danger.
Fandi is there to clear it away. Up to the other Irfan.
I wonder how long he's going to be playing alongside his brother at BG Patum, because there's talk about Irfan moving on from BG Patum. Rumours that John Book are looking at him.
Yep.
If they can stump up the cash.
It's a fair amount as well. $1 million. Now, here is that long throw, and this time it's a much longer run-up. He's got the space on this side. Pratama, they've not put a man on him this time. Should be straightforward for Hassan. And again, an immediate release. He's slipped as he was just about to make contact with the ball. Big divot there from him.
Well, that's the great thing about Hassan. And Singapore here, with these long throws, obviously they would have looked at that, they would have studied it, they would have worked on it on the training ground. What Singapore do have is at least they have height at the back. We know aerially they are strong, and Hassan is a very confident and experienced goalkeeper. He's been one of Singapore's best players, I think, in this competition.
That's where Iksan went to the ball, but I've got to say that's excellent coverage from Alfrianda.
Yeah, it's just scary when you think about the future of Indonesian football. Alfrianda is 20, Pratama Arhan 19.
Just turned 20
just turned
yesterday.
20, just yesterday. Happy birthday to Pratama Arhan. Rizky Ridho, 20 years of age. Wow.
Asnawi's 22.
Yes, Asnawi 22, playing in Korea.
Here we go now. Here's Song. Oh, that was a good intervention. And on the rebound. Singapore denied anyway. It would have been offside.
Oh, this is encouraging play from Singapore. If you're a Singapore fan, you see the variance in the runs there. Iksan just peeling off towards the near post. Oh, tell you what, he doesn't catch that one well at all. Mistimes the hit on that. He's going to be disappointed with himself because when I spoke to him after he scored those 2 goals, oh, Adam has gone in with a high challenge.
Not a
Could be in
great
trouble
one. That
here.
looks bad. I don't think there's any malice in that. He's apologising.
It's a terrible challenge from Noradam. Be very fortunate if he gets away with it.
And he's been told just to quickly walk away from this one.
Oh, I mean, look, he's got his eyes on the ball, sure, but you can't go flying into your position like that.
But to be clear, Roshan, you feel the worst it would be is a yellow, and it is, isn't it? So, do you think it could be worse?
Listen, I've seen sending offs for that, for challenges like that. We've seen it in the world of football, haven't we? You know, his knee is essentially gone with a knee to Witan's chest in that situation.
Yellow card it is. I think it ended up being one of those that probably looked worse than it was, because he got up fairly quick. It did look pretty bad, didn't it? The contact made. Murad has got a yellow card, a pretty early one as well. Away by Zulfami. Also taken there by Forrest, and then a good touch on by Ricky Kambuaya. Here's Irfan. Side, Tama. Nazrul and him having a nice, decent battle. Fairly even Stevens at the moment for you?
Yeah, nice even contest at the moment. And I think the Indonesia-Malaysia game, you remember how quick the pace and the tempo was in that one. We haven't seen that sort of intensity yet in this match, and that's completely understandable. Very early on.
Yeah. Also because it was that one-off, effectively.
That's right.
It was almost a winner-take-all, wasn't it?
I think Shin Tae-yong mentioned something about the first 2 matches of this competition being a way for them to sort of get into the rhythm of play. And I mean, they blew those 2 teams away, didn't they? If that was them getting the rhythm of play, it's no surprise they made their way top of the group into the semi-finals. And then he said from then on, after those first 2 matches, essentially everything has been treated like a final.
Yeah, he said every game now as well, all the way to be treated as a final. I love the mind games that were played as well in the build-up to this one. He was saying Singapore, they will come at us, we're the underdog, trying to play it off, trying to put the pressure on. He's been trying to do that sort of thing throughout this tournament. Here come Indonesia. Asnawi. Rahmat Irianto. Goes down there by Zulfami.
Rahmat is another player who's been so impressive for Indonesia. Another one, 22 years of age. Can play in central defense, can play in central midfield. Doesn't look out of place. Zulfami there is well defended by Zulfami. Came in for a bit of criticism after that Thailand game. A bit harsh. This player with really good qualities. There's a reason why he's in the national side. The reason why Tsuma Yoshida puts him in the starting 11.
Fourth corner for Indonesia. Nicely defended on the corner. Indonesia looking for a way to break through. Asnawi. Let's fall into Witan Sulaiman. Waiting to pull the trigger.
And that first touch from Witan was excellent. And what that did was it unbalanced Haris Harun just as he receives it. Good run. That first touch, it's an unexpected one for that Singapore defense. Because it takes him across the penalty area here. Just unbalances Haris just for the moment. Does enough eventually to put Witan off his shot at goal. Incredible talent. I'm just talking about these incredibly talented Indonesian players.
He's often